Half a day, Tritons, and welcome to episode 3 of the Tritons Athletics and Fieldhouse video podcast. And we are very excited for all the news that we have for you tonight. We're going to go ahead and be starting off with the recreation and wellness news, the athletic news in regards to the vaccination clinic here at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse, and we will also be having interviews with two of our basketball players from the women's team and from the men's team as well. And for the biggest news yet that we have to reveal, and we have been waiting to reveal, we are going to reveal our new name for this podcast. Instead of saying our whole mouthful, we're going to go ahead and reveal it. But you're going to go ahead and have to wait until the end of the show just to find out what it is. Now, moving on to the recreation and wellness news. For those of you who are interested in losing weight and want to go ahead and give yourself a little bit of a challenge, the Student Health Service Office will be having the Healthy G Challenge, which starts tomorrow, Friday, February 4th. If you want to go ahead and register, it will be during the hours of 10 to 1 tomorrow at the Student Health Office in the Student Center. There will be a $25 entrance fee for the challenge. And for those of you who are really wanting to do this, there's also a cash prize for the person who loses the most weight, along with the person who loses the most weight percentage. And that just seems like a really great goal, and we should totally get into that. But we shall see if I want to enter myself too. So we will also be having weekly weigh-ins to go ahead and keep you focused. And for those of you who gain weight instead of losing weight, you will be going ahead and facing a fine for that one. And the program will be going on for 12 weeks. Now I'm going to go ahead and push it over. Oh, just kidding. No, not yet. We're going to go ahead. For those of you who still haven't gotten your first dose or your second dose or your booster shots, we are going to have the vaccination clinic still here at the University of Guam Calvo Fieldhouse from the hours of 11 to 5, Monday through Wednesday and Friday, along with Saturday from 11 to 7 p.m. So go ahead and check us out during those days and within those hours. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Mr. Palmer for more news in terms of our athletics.
Thank you, Rosanna. And just to add to the Healthy G Fitness thing, the last winner won about $700. So if you do a good job, you can win a big prize at the very end. All right, talking now about athletics. Our men's and women's basketball teams played this weekend down at the Paseo Stadium outdoor courts. Both teams went 0-4 in the tournament, but they all had a great time. Everybody I asked had a great time in playing. Things you have to remember when our teams play, a lot of these other community teams, they're playing against teams that are much bigger and much stronger. We have our 18 and 19-year-olds playing against 25 to 35-year-olds. So they're playing very mature men and women while we're young men and women. So we're always at a disadvantage when we play out in the community. And so we have to meet that challenge. But the kids had a really great time playing, and hopefully we'll make this an annual event for us. But both teams, each one almost pulled big upsets in the tournament. The women lost to the champion from the year before, 5-4 in one game, and our men almost beat the Bucketsville team that knocked out the defending champions in the tournament, and they lost 16-15. So they both had really good, solid chance for an upset win, but they just couldn't quite pull it out. The most exciting news that we have is the men's basketball tryouts added 7 to 8 players last week. So now instead of having 5-6 players, we're now up to about 14 players. So the men's team should be much more competitive as we go forward because we have a bunch of players. The women's team added 2 more players, so they actually improved their numbers as well. Both basketball teams will play this weekend in the Love and Basketball Tournament out in Daddy Doe at the middle school. The men will be playing will actually be playing in the Coed division. So actually, and our women's teams will join together to play in a Coed team. This will be the first time we've ever played Coed basketball here at the university, at least going out and playing out in the community. So we're pretty excited about that. as I said, and this tournament is a double elimination tournament. So, especially on the men's side, it is a double elimination tournament. You lose two, you're out. The men will play twice on Sunday, so there's a chance they could lose out. I don't think we will lose out. I hope we don't lose out. But in the women's, there's only 3 teams. They're going to play each other once, and then they're going to have a little bit of a bracket play. So the women are pretty much guaranteed they're going to play this next Sunday and then the second Sunday on February 13th. And the brand new news that actually just happened this afternoon, I was talking to Coach Barnes from Anderson. Play 2 games against the Anderson teams. So we're going to play the Bombers and we're going to play the women's Bombers on February 19th and 20th. So that's really exciting. And that will be the first time that the teams will actually get to play in regular basketball courts and at a very good facility. So we're very excited about that. Tomorrow morning, we have a 9 a.m. meeting talking about the baseball team. What we're planning on doing, because we're not sure if the Guam Major League is going to get started anytime soon, but we're going to try to put in a UOG tournament or play some UOG exhibition games in late February and March to get us ready for the Guam Major League when it does start. So hopefully tomorrow we're going to come up with a plan that our baseball team can play 8 to 10 games somewhere in late February and early March to get ready to play. Women's rugby news is we've moved the women's rugby team from varsity to club because we just don't have enough varsity players right now to play. The club means that we can't have players from GCC play for us. We can also have a professor play for us. We can have an alumni play for us. So it really opens up the ability to us to find some other players. Women's rugby is supposed to play on February 26th. So we're going to try to get 10 bodies to play in a one-day women's tournament. And we need 10 bodies because a one-day women's tournament means we're going to play 5 times that day. And last time we had a concussion on the first day and a separated shoulder on the second day. So we really would need some extra bodies to play. And then our last thing, men's soccer still has no word of when they're going to play. So, but as you can see, athletics is finally starting to play a bit, and it's getting excited here for us to be able to play games, and our student athletes can go out and do what they want to do, play in their athletic contests. So, Rosanna, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Palmer. Does it always great all the time, giving his news, giving us all the updates that we need to know. So now we're going to go ahead and have our first interview with our men's basketball athlete, Mr. Brandon Duenas. Hi, Brandon. Okay, so can you go ahead and just give us a little preview of yourself? Like, tell us about yourself, your major.
Sure. Yeah, so my name is Brandon Duenas. I am a senior. I'm studying business administration.
So we did realize it was a tough challenge this past weekend on the 3-on-3 tournament. You guys had a record of 0-4 for the tournament. I guess, and seeing as it wasn't such a great turnout in the score, were there any positive things that happened?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing, of course, is whenever you play in those type of tournaments, you gain exposure, in that level of competition. The other thing too is with our team, we really haven't played together yet, so it was a chance for us to build chemistry, and hopefully we can, bring that to the next tournament we play in.
So after playing this 3-on-3 tournament, are you ready to play another one?
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever you get the chance to show your skills and that type of environment, gives us a chance to learn something. So if you don't come out on a winning column, you learn something from it.
So you also have another 3-on-3 tournament coming up this weekend, and it's going to be a double elimination. Just kidding, it's not even 3-on-3. You're just having another tournament this weekend. You're having a double elimination tournament. Do you have any thoughts on playing for the Love and Basketball tournament?
Yeah. Sorry. Our team is excited, to go out and play again. As Mr. Palmer said, we added 7 to 8 more players this time. So, it gives us a chance as a team to come together and really build chemistry for, March Madness, which is happening later on in the year.
So when you guys are going to be playing this upcoming weekend, it's going to be transitioned from a college-sized court, right? And it's going to be moved towards a middle school size. Is there going to be a really big effect on moving from a bigger size to a smaller size?
Well, our coach always preaches, our conditioning. So playing on a smaller court, we shouldn't be tired so easily. We're not, running up and down the court the whole 90 feet. And of course, the shots, they may seem further out, but they're really not. So we're able to extend, our offense and defense further out on the court.
Well, we want to say thank you so much for coming on the show and go ahead and just giving us a little touch of what happened this weekend and then also what's going to be coming up the next weekend that's coming. Are there any that you would like to add as you guys go ahead and start your basketball?
No, not really. I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Palmer and everyone here for giving us a chance to play in the 3-on-3 tournament, and for really putting together a team for these other tournaments, the outside tournaments that we're able to play in.
Okay. Well, thank you, Brandon, and I can go ahead and you can go ahead and head back to basketball practices. I know we interrupted just for a little bit, but thank you so much for coming on board. Okay, now moving on to our women's basketball interview. Her name, I have been butchering it for the first couple of minutes, but when I came in, but I hopefully have it now. We're going to go ahead and interview Diem Mutsco. Did I say it right? Yes, I did. Haha, I did. Okay, well, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. Can you go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, my name is Diem Mutsco, and I'm from Palau, and I'm an incoming freshman.
So it's kind of similar to Brandon's question too. You guys, the women's basketball team hasn't played in about 2 years, and then you guys also had the same record of 0-4. Were there any positive outcomes during the tournament?
Yes, I could say we were able to gain experience from that level of competition. We haven't played before, and we were also able to learn from our mistakes and learn from the other players as they played against us.
So you also played the defending champions of the tournament to a 5-4 game. Is there anything that you could have done or could have happened if that would made a difference in terms of the Lady Tritons being able to win the game?
I feel like we could have played with more confidence since it was our first time playing, so we could step up our game offensively and defensively.
So now you play this coming Sunday, right, in a Coed tournament. Have you ever played in a Coed team before?
Not for an official tournament, no.
But for fun. Okay. Okay. So in this tournament, generally there's only one woman that plays during this time. That's somewhat disappointing for the women's basketball team, I'm sure. I mean, do you have any agreement towards that or disagreement?
I guess I could change the narrative and say we could use it as an opportunity to learn and use it as we play against a different level of competition, since it is all men and one woman playing.
So Mr. Palmer also mentioned that they're trying to find a gym to hold for the women's team to go ahead and start your tournament and then also play as well a regular 5-on-5 game. So are you ready to start to get back on track and actually play a 5-on-5 game?
I feel like with the amount of practices that we're putting in, I feel like we are sort of getting ready. And leading up to the point we've gained some experience from the tournament, so I'm pretty sure we're excited to start.
Are there any last words you would like to say in regards to the women's basketball team and then, of course, getting your season back on board?
Nothing really. I just want to thank the coaches, for always supporting us and giving us good words. And we're excited to start the season.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. And we are very excited as well. And it's just finally see that there is change happening during this semester. And now it is finally time to go ahead and get this on the road to our new name. It will no longer be called the Triton Athletics and Fieldhouse Video Podcast because that is such a mouthful. Okay, so I'm just going to ask for your help. So we were supposed to have another person, but I have you, so we will work with that. Okay, so I'm just gonna need a little drum roll, and I can go ahead and reveal the new name. So whenever you're ready, the new name of the Triton Athletics and Fieldhouse Video Podcast is now going to be the Triton Sports Zone, and we are very excited. It finally gives us a little bit more of a nice ring to it. It is not so much of a mouthful, but really it kind of sums up who we are during this podcast, and to also feature, of course, what we always do, our sports. Okay. Although we did change our name, nothing else has been changing. We're still going to be having it every Thursday night at 6 p.m., whether you can watch it live or you can watch it later on. Doesn't matter, but we can go ahead and feel the love all the way, whether it's live or you're watching it later on. So now, as we come to an end, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and to also hit that notification button for the Triton Sports Zone video podcast that's coming up next week, Thursday, as well. We have a lot in store for next week as well, and we will just have to stay tuned for what's coming up next, because I'm not even sure what's happening next either. So, okay, Diem, so I kind of went over it, right, to go ahead and end the show. It's our Triton sign, Viva UOG, hold the pose through the camera, and we're set. Okay, let's try this. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Viva UOG!